Hello, welcome to the stream. Big ups. And if you haven't noticed, I've had a haircut. It's short again. Let's go. That's messing around with it in my eyes, so that's good. But big ups. Now then, want to say apologies for how late this was scheduled. I didn't think I'd be able to stream tonight, and so I didn't really prep anything. But I ended up being able to stream tonight, so I was like, okay, I've got to get something out there because I had the time, and I've managed to do it. So big ups to anyone who's tuning in. It was quite late notice, I get that. So, but nonetheless, we have had some decent news today. Again, we'll take anything at this point. News has been rather quiet, in fairness, and so we'll take anything. And we were a little bit. There were some worrying signs. there were some really worrying signs to begin. Because Fabrizio Romano came out with some City news, and I'll go to it right now. Here we go. Let me share my screen with you. Here we go. Bundesliga and Premier League clubs are showing strong interest in Man City's Nico Riley. Several clubs are prepared to offer regular first-team opportunities next season, a priority for the player. And look, Nico Riley last season, he absolutely broke into the team, ran the show, even at times for us, ended up being really, really crucial for us. And it's no wonder teams are interested. Chelsea were interested in January. Thank gosh that didn't go through. But the guy's 20. He's 20 years old, turned in March. And he can really go to most Premier League clubs probably and probably have a spot in their team. Again, I think there's a place for him in this squad. I genuinely do. I think Nico Riley looks an absolute top player, and last season alone proved it. Okay, came into a position at left back that is not a left back; he's a midfielder, and he absolutely cooked there. There is no way we should be looking to sell this guy. But Fabrizio Romano came out saying that it could very well be the case. It could very well happen. If teams are showing a lot of interest. We'll go on to that Edison news shortly, believe me. Here was the actual post from Fabrizio. Understand Bundesliga Premier League clubs, talks with midfielder, Man City midfielder will continue as several clubs prepare to offer first-team opportunities. So yeah, look, multiple teams looking for him. And no wonder he's an absolute top player, and at a young age they could really have someone great. But Hurst Class came out and said that Man City want to keep Nico Riley. There are no plans to sell the player this summer, and Pep Guardiola is extremely happy with him, basically. And this was the news we needed. This was the perfect bounce back news. And I'm really glad, I'm really, really happy that this is what we've come to, that we decided to keep him. But I want him to play. I absolutely want him to play. Last season, he finished off the season brilliantly. And look, we signed a left back now in Ainauri, so it's not really a hole anymore that needs filling by Nico Riley. But this guy deserves his spot, Not necessarily on the first team sheet every single week. But he well and truly deserves to be up there with Gundo and Bernardo and Kova. He deserves to be in that conversation. Absolutely. And otherwise, why wouldn't he leave? If Nico Riley is seeing bigger opportunities elsewhere, why wouldn't he leave? Okay, the only reason can be is that we are offering him football. Okay, we need to offer him football because he's absolutely top. But this was great news nonetheless. Bad news initially, but news came out revealing that we have no intention of selling him. Napoli tried to sign Edison last week, apparently. We'll go find that post right now. Where are you, Napoli? Oh, no, we've gone too far. Here we go. Napoli will sign a new goalkeeper. Napoli tried to sign Edison from Man City with talks in place last week, but then put off a move as not feasible. Now then, whether that is down to the fee, whether that is down to us not willing to sell, whether that's down to Edison not willing to leave, really unclear, but something blocked the move and it just ended up not being on the cards for either party by the looks of it. Anyone that wanted Edison out, this isn't the greatest news for you. This is a good club that would have come in for Eddie, and Eddie probably, not definitely, could have been attracted to an extent. You know, Napoli, they're the best team in the Serie A as of last season. So, you know, no surprise that they'd come in for him. But doesn't look like it's going to happen. Talks at the end of last season were very suggestive that Forest would be joining and that Gibbs White would be joining City. And some even hoped it would be done quickly, as the noise was becoming a distraction. Genuine surprise that City did not follow through with their initial interest. And that's because we went for Shirky. Much better option in my opinion. You know, I think Shirky looks a top player. I think Gibbs White is good, but I don't think he's worth the fee. I think he could be a very good player to slot into the squad and just help out here and there, but I don't look to him for the goals, I don't look to him for the assists, but I don't doubt that he's going to be a good player wherever he goes. Looking like Tottenham, but who knows? And that's yesterday's news. Here's KDB in the blue and white. It's just not ours. It's so weird to look at. It's so weird to look at. He'll smash it. I absolutely hope he has a great time there. Wouldn't want anything less. Now then, we'll quickly go through some news here. Lamine Yamal, number 10 next season. Big number to take. Lookman leaving. Inter are preparing an official bid. Roma improving their bid. Jude Bellingham surgery complete. Rodrigo DePaul. Oh, is that Forest training top or their top next season? Yellow and red's an interesting choice. Ekitike, that's going to be an interesting saga. Marseille in advanced talks for Tim Weah. Araujo. I wonder what happens to Luis Diaz. That seems to be an interesting saga. He looks like he's wanting to leave. Not like desperate by the looks of it, but looks like he's more out than in, as Salah would say. Probably going to be Bayern, because I don't see Barca. I don't see Barca managing the fee. So if anyone's going to get him, it's probably going to be Bayern Munich. And Leeds, here we go for Sean Longstaff. Hutchinson to Brentford, potentially. Yeah. Now that's an interesting one. Ipswich want to keep him, but he's looking to go back up to the Prem. I wonder how long it's going to take for United to get Mbuemo, because it's been going on for a while now. Oh, that'll be me. Carlos Forbes, if you don't know Carlos Forbes, former Man City player, looks like he is joining Club Brugge. All done there, leaving Ajax. Liverpool. Sesko looking to stay in Europe. Mosquera, here we go. There's the Nico O'Reilly stuff. Napoli for Nunez is off. Thiago Armada to Atletico. Yeah, that seems to be all the big news. Yeah, that's all the big stuff. Manchester's blue. Man United is bad. And City and Man City are all again. Welcome to the stream, Milutin Lekovic. Big ups to you. How you doing? I had a little poem. But look, I think I'm going to wrap it up there. Only a short one. I wanted to get something out there. But look, big ups to everyone who's tuned in. I appreciate the support, as per usual. You know, news recently has been so quiet. It's tough to do anything City related at the moment. But big ups to everyone who's tuned in. We got 4 people in the stream right now. I'm doing well right now, says Milutin Lekovic. How about you? I'm doing good as well. Big ups for you asking. Appreciate that. But look, thank you to everyone who tuned in. You know, not the longest stream, but I wanted to get something out there. Feel free to watch it back if you want to hear my thoughts on the news and whatnot. I'm just really relieved that we're keeping Nico O'Reilly. Edison, going to be an interesting one. Will he stay? Will he go? What was so unfeasible about the deal? I'm very curious. But, oh well. Big ups to you all, Blues. And yeah, don't know if I'll stream tomorrow, but minimum I'm back on Blue Friday show on Friday night, so you'll see me on Blue Friday. Big ups to you all, Blues. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell as usual. Big ups.